much a whole year's salary. I never wore Yeezys, that's a fact. Every week is fashion week for me.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was inspired by Rainbow Grits. So go subscribe to her, but this was just inspired by her, and I was getting obsessed with these videos, so I just wanted to make one on my own. So I hope you enjoy. Bye, chicken nuggies.
So one day I was on FaceTime with a boy who I thought was extremely cute, okay? And I had to go use the bathroom, but I wasn't gonna tell him, hey, yo, I'm gonna go take a fat. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna brush my teeth right now, like, I'm gonna put you on mute or whatever, right? I swear to God, I remember pushing the mute button, bro, like, it's, I'm out here vibing, doing my thing, you know, like, you just imagine, I was on the toilet, I was exploding, and then I hear him on the phone saying, damn, girl, you got so much gas. I was like, what? Okay. So after I'm done with, like, everything, washing my, I check my phone and the mute button isn't on, which means he literally heard everything. I hung up. I've never talked to him since, bro, like.
For the first time in my life, so I got a salad, and as I'm just sitting down, enjoying this watery, tasteless meal, this man comes up beside me and taps me on the shoulder and says, do you want to know the secret of what's going on in Hong Kong right now? So I look at him, because I want to know the secret, and he spits directly into my eyeball. Not on my face, not by my eye, in the cornea of my eyeball. So I just sit there, and I stare at him as I'm doing like this to try and get his saliva out of my freaking eyeball. And said, no, sir, I don't, because I didn't want to know the secret anymore. And I have a feeling the secret was that he just gave me the coronavirus and I'm gonna die. So happy fun times with me, happy healthy eating, love my salad, totally worth it. Hey!
I hope y'all are ready for a love story. So I teach 8th grade, and every year when I make my first seating charts, I always put my students in alphabetical order just for like a month so I can learn their names, except for one class. I saw these 2 kids that I knew as 7th graders, and I was like, oh my gosh, they would make such a cute little couple. So I put them next to each other. You know, it's like a little reality TV show moment. And every time I updated my seating chart after that, I kept them next to each other. And now they're at a point in the year where they can pick their own seats, and they still sit next to each other. And I've gotten to watch them get to know each other and become friends and get a little flirty. And today, as the boy was doing his assignment, I looked at the girl and I said, are y'all falling in love? And she goes, and when I tell y'all, I could have started crying sitting right there at my desk. They're the cutest thing. And before you come for me talking about, oh, it's school, they should be there to learn, and why are you worried about your students' love? Like, shut up. Just stop. Don't ruin this for everybody. Because if you saw them, you would agree. They are the most pure thing you've ever seen in your life. And I'm just so happy for them.
So my sister and I got tickets as general audience members. Obviously, the dress code was formal, so here we are walking around Manhattan in our gowns. You can see Radio City, and here I've zoomed in to show that visibility was blocked and people were trying to see the red carpet. So we walked to the end of the street, not sure how we were going to find the line to get into the theater, and a police officer came over to us and said, you girls are going to the show, right? And we said yes. So he escorted us through security and into an area that we assumed would be the general line, and this is what we saw. By the time we realized he'd brought us to the red carpet, he was already gone. There were other people in gowns that weren't being interviewed or photographed, so we briefly thought that this might be the general waiting area, but we quickly figured out they were friends and family of the stars, and one of them offered to take a picture of us, so that was nice. If we looked stressed, it's because we were. We were scared to tell anyone we weren't supposed to be there because we didn't want to get in trouble, even though it wasn't our fault. So we just followed the nice family that took our picture all the way along the red carpet until we got to the front entrance, and an employee asked to see our tickets, and once he saw them, he said, you shouldn't be here. And we said, we know.
The real story about how I broke the Big Thunder Mountain ride at Disneyland, or so I thought. So at the beginning of the ride, I pulled out my phone to film, which I do all the time, and none of the workers ever say anything, but this time as we were on the ride, you could hear a lady on the loudspeaker yelling things at us throughout the ride, and this was the only instance I got it audibly on camera. I don't remember what else she said because we were screaming on the ride. I wasn't sure if she was saying things to me or someone else because everyone was faced forward on the ride, so I didn't really know what she was talking about. Anyway, I got really scared because technically you're not supposed to have your phone out. She kept saying things over the loudspeaker until they ended up literally stopping us in the middle of the ride. We were stuck there for about 15 to 20 minutes and they made everyone leave the line, so it got pretty scary because no one was telling us what was going on. Meanwhile, I was convinced I was the reason they stopped the ride because I had my phone out and thought I dropped something on the rails. My friend also kept telling me that I broke the ride, so it was kind of an inside joke that I broke the ride. But finally, some workers came and released us and we had to climb down onto this ramp to get off. But in the end, they gave us all fast passes. They still never told us exactly what happened, but I assume it was because of my juicy fat.
Made me cry last night. So the coffee shop that I work at also has ice cream. And so this lady had brought in her granddaughter to get ice cream. This little girl's probably about 4 or 5 years old. And she asked for ice cream with sprinkles. And so I absolutely loaded it with sprinkles because she's a kid and I have a heart. And the entire time this girl's eating her ice cream, she just keeps glancing at me. And right before they're about to leave, the grandmother brings her up and says, okay, tell her what you wanted to tell her. The little girl looks up at me and goes, I think you're a princess. And the grandmother goes, tell her why you think that. And the little girl looks up at me and goes, because you remind me of sunshine.
Story. I bought my first home in July. I had a patio space. I was so excited to put my twinkly lights up. I'm one of those girls that really enjoys a good twinkle light. I string those babies up and of course they come crumbling down because my neighbor did not like that. The next day my boyfriend is outside grilling. She comes over yelling at him. Why were the lights on at 3 in the morning? I don't know. What's it to you what time I'm sleeping? We come inside after her yelling. She has a hammer hammering at my property trying to get these things down. So I go outside and I'm like, excuse me, please don't touch my property.
Your property is your mouth. Why don't you think of others?
She did not like that. The following day, she decided to watch me all day long. I had seen this previously, like I had noticed her watching me occasionally, but she stood out there at the fence watching me the entire day. I got very uncomfortable. I went back outside to say something.
Do you need anything?
Why are you talking to me?
You're staring down over here.
I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Then why are you looking at me? Why are you staring at me all day?
Because I have a right.
Claims